Hi, and good evening, everyone. My name is Albert, and this is Vlogs About Nothing. Thank you very much for taking the time out of your very busy night to join me. I really do appreciate it. True story, I dated this chick one time who really hated it when people would breathe loud, and so sometimes I feel like subliminally, I'm kind of just like breathing loud on purpose, even though I have not had a girlfriend in many years now. And so, anyways, tonight, what I want to talk about is Christmas stuff, all right? And specifically, I want to talk about John Tesh and Delilah. Both of people have been more of an influence to me than my own parents. There was this thing called remote control parents or something. My parents weren't that. You feel me? It was kind of just sort of like around the holidays, and I'm an incredibly independent person too. So when the holidays came, right, not just to throw all the blame on any other people, but I really enjoyed spending time with my grandma's. You feel me? Shout out to my grandma. I love her and I miss her. And this is now the third Christmas without her, and yeah, life sucks sometimes. But anyways, I'd be chilling at her crib or whatever, and that's where like I wanted to be. You feel me? Like that was the only place I wanted to be. And during that time, I'd go back into the house that my grandpa literally built with his own hands. This is some crazy old school Hispanic stuff here. But anyways, always kind of was really into that kind of stuff. You feel me? I mean, not to mention that when my grandpa was my age, the dude had like 7 kids, already built a house, and employed dozens of people. So I guess I am not doing as good as he did, and so I miss you too, Grandpa. Anyways, that's a true story, right? Like all of those things. I think back in the day, I can only speak from what I know, and my perspective is that growing up of a Hispanic, and just I know there's some truth in the stereotypes of Spanish people having large families and stuff, and big Christmas gatherings, and yeah, I make tamales and pozole, and I even, when the mood catches me right and I have stuff going on, I'll even make luminarias, So again, all of that very stereotypical holiday, end of the year, cheerful stuff. I make bizcochitos too, right? So the list goes on. And I say these things just because, like, it's funny, that my grandpa was such a badass and I'm such a loser. And it's in a good way, obviously, because without that man busting his ass, I wouldn't have an opportunity to live my best life and aspire to do nothing. So, ironically enough, he got what, ultimately I know that man wanted: my happiness. And so, yeah, okay, so the helicopter parenting, not the remote control parenting. I'm talking about the latchkey kids too. So, like, helicopter parenting is the opposite of latchkey, okay? So, helicopter parenting is when, like, parents are, like, all up in your shit, you feel me? They're like a helicopter, And latchkey parenting is, when you don't ever see your parents for whatever reason. They could be busy at work. They could be incarcerated. They could not, be in your life as a result of something that had nothing at all to do with them, There's all kinds of different ways that life can pan out. You understand what I'm saying? And that, like, from my perspective, again, like, more of like a latchkey, right? Because, like, I was fiercely independent. And so growing up in that way, the people on the radio were responsible for more of telling me how to live my life than my own parents, including my grandma, right? Because even though I was at my grandma's, I was still listening to the radio while I was playing pool in the playroom that my grandpa built with his bare hands. Yes, and so obviously very privileged, the guy was a hardworking dude, but I grew up every holiday season in a playroom, you feel me, that had a regulation sized pool table in it, and 2 bedrooms off to the side, and a bar and a sunroom all connected to this place. And again, all of these places Yes, were built by my grandpa. And, anyways, I do believe that the guy turned what was a 700 square foot house into a 2,300 square foot house. So he literally, um, doubled the size of that house. And, God, I miss that house. But anyways, going back to John Tesh and Delilah, obviously, long sidebar. Thanks for hanging in there. We have so much time together, so may as well fill it with words that come from my mouth as I speak to you by myself, to myself, from the comfort of my home bedroom. Shout out to all the people watching my show on the nightly. You know, coming from Albuquerque, New Mexico, a Merry Christmas. But that's all that I'm saying is like John Tesh and Delilah, no hate on my parents. Again, like, I don't care enough to, you know, even care about that. What I do care about is that I literally have got more life advice from John Tesh and Delilah than I have my own mother and father. Like, I don't know, you know? And now, in retrospect, as I hear these two grown-ass people that are, like, ancient at this point. I mean, John Tesh has been on the radio since, like, radio's been invented, man. This guy is cross-generational, you feel me? And, may I add, an incredibly talented dude. He is, and from what it sounds like, not the nicest dude, you know, like, IRL or whatever, but again, I get it, you feel me? I mean, the guy, has been working for 70 years. You can't possibly be that happy off camera and or doing anything other than your work, which, for the record, he is badass at, again, whether it's singing, music writing, performing, like, he's a talented musician, and moreover, like, he talks about these interesting things, right? Like, I could not be any far more removed from the truth when I say that he literally is an inspiration to me in the public speaking arena, right? And his influence in that, like, everyone knows who John Tesh is. Again, like, if we could all only be so lucky. And, you know, again, like, he may lean on some more conservative things, and I do think that he's, like, even involved in that type of stuff, but, like, on the secular side of things, so far as it concerns this conversation that I'm having with y'all, he reps it hard, you feel me? He goes hard, no cap. Like, he says some good stuff, he talks about some decent things. Again, I mean, for being a boomer, or, like, older than a boomer, because he was, like, entertaining boomers, so I'm not sure what generation this guy is from, but sometimes, obviously, the age shows, you know? Just like sometimes when I talk, my age shows, if my white beard wasn't already enough to indicate that I'll be 52 next year, and I'm killing it, you feel me? If you really believe that, then good. I'm happy. I'm happy that I look so old, and it doesn't matter. I wish I looked older. You feel me? Like, if I look this good when I'm 52, I'm gonna be killing it. That's all that I'm saying. So, like, shout out to whatever, if ever, I have a future girlfriend. I see you. Anyways, no, I don't, actually. And it's really funny, but, I did want to say that I do appreciate people like John Tesh. Now, let's talk about Delilah, right? Because obviously she's a part of this too, and probably, obviously, more of a part of it than John Tesh. Because, like, Delilah was more of, like, the emotional DJ on air, you feel me? Where, like, John Tesh was, like, you know, spitting out Google facts before Google was a thing. I swear to God, this guy invented trivia and just, like, daily for yous and shit like that. Like, I am not joking, and I'm such a huge nerd, and I know where all this stuff comes from, at least as it's consumed like mass commercially, you feel me, like in recent time or whatever. And anyways, Delilah is a super, like, ethocentric, like, you know, that's the way, you know, it's very emotional, you know? I mean, millions of people have lived an entire adult life with this woman. We've all heard of her children and her tragedies, you know? I mean, now that I'm talking about it, I mean, this is real stuff. Like, this woman, bless her soul, is an incredibly talented DJ, and obviously a huge influence to lots of random people like me, you know, that literally look forward to hearing her voice, just like I would my mom, if, you know, that were true. You know, I'm just kidding. That was a bad joke. I gotta step out of character here for a second. Mom, I love you and I do like your voice, but God, you make me mad sometimes. Just as I'm sure I make you mad. But, anyways, out, back in. I also just want to say that Delilah has been an incredibly well-rounded, good influence to me and millions of other people. And I'm going to be really sad when I am not able to tune in to my local radio channel and not hear Delilah. You feel me? Like, not replaceable, you know? I mean, and I know this because just as I said earlier, when I was younger and I grew up, I knew that this time of the year I was listening to Delilah. And if I were lucky enough to be late at like 10 o'clock, which is when John Tesh started, you know, then I'd listen to John Tesh. But like by that time, I was already crashed out, you feel me? Because like I lived a good life and I have lived a good life. And I'm really grateful for that. So I miss you, Grandma, you know, and John Tesh and Delilah, continue to smash that shit, because there are millions of people again that like just find so much joy in hearing you guys talk, you know. And I know that it isn't something that, you know, is like willfully talked about all the time, but sometimes it is, just to hear, like, it's nice just to hear somebody's voice, you know. And that routine of how you've grown as an individual, and also how the people that you're listening to have grown and endured other kinds of things that have happened to them, personally, off camera and or off air in this case, I guess. And you know, with and alongside the audience that has given them the platform and the career that they have, you know. And so I think those are good things. And I think I'm gonna drink milk and eat some cookies. And I think it's on Magic FM. I'm not quite sure. I know that it's not Sunday yet for me, although it probably is now in like just a few minutes. And these videos have been real short. I guess I really haven't had much to talk about, have I? Thank you guys so much. Just, we're getting out of character now. Thank you guys for watching my videos. I really appreciate it, you know. Obviously, there's not millions of people watching yet, and this isn't like a household, you know, rooting for the underdog kind of an affair yet. I assure you that given the time, you know, and this continued opportunity, all of those things will come. And I have been ready my entire life. And honestly, it's kind of starting to get boring, you know what I mean? So far as it goes with like making moves career-wise, or just being able to like live out some of the things that I've wanted to but have not, because I'm a dumbass. And anything that I've ever had that's valuable, I've either lost, destroyed, and or both. So kind of learning from that, you know. And looking forward to listening to John Tesh and Delilah at some point here in the very near future. Things are going all right. I know that I have some really cool things coming up here pretty soon, and I hope I'm not driving, you know, my roommate crazy by all the time that I've been spending here exclusively at home and stuff. But I gotta be completely honest, you know, I am really into getting this rest. I know that I say that a lot, and it may sound that, you know, like all I do is rest, but it's not just because I'm a lazy dude. It's also because when I do get busy, things are just too busy for me to even consider doing other things. And I'm incredibly focused on doing some major things in my life, you know. And I've committed myself to not having some of the things that other people find super joyous. And I would lie if I would say that I didn't also find them joyous myself, like intimate personal relationships, you know. And wanting and or having an opportunity to be with family, you know, and stuff like that, and settling down and things like that, you know. I've said it publicly, and I've been very transparent with my entire life here on this channel, and I've done that for a reason, obviously, you know. Not much in life I do with, and or at least for no reason. I think you'd be silly if you said to yourself that you did anything at all for no reason, just because I think we all look for some reasoning behind some of the decisions that we make. That's for sure. And if you don't, then you may or may not have some problems. But who knows? Because, so far I've done a really good job of not doing any of the things that could have made me happy before in my past, and so I've literally kind of left myself with no choice but to move forward with the decisions that I wasn't sure if I was going to make, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, and that's all right. It's all reflected in kind of the way that I'm living now, and really just trying to stay out of trouble, you feel me, and also stay out of other people's way, and really, again, focus on some bigger things that require a shit ton of energy, and just an unrelenting commitment to like being selfish and being able to like not care about anything other than yourself and your immediate needs. And again, I know it sounds like some type of way, but that's the journey that I've decided to go on. And so it's not always the friendliest of roads, but it is for a reason, and hopefully I'll just be like anyone else that's also trying to live their best life, just trying to get by, and make the world a better place while I'm at it, but also trying to get all of this done and out of the way so that I can continue to aspire to be nothing, That's because that's literally at the heart of it. It's just really, I'm just trying to chill. And so, I hope that you guys are well, and I hope that you guys are doing awesome in your own personal lives, and thank you for watching, and thank you for subscribing, and anytime and every time somebody watches this video and gives a thumb up or a thumbs down, it's good. It's good stuff. Subscribers, it's good. We've been solid on this number of subscribers now for quite some time, and I can't complain. That's a good thing. At least the team that we have here assembled so far is on board, more or less, with some of the things that I say. Anyways, I hope that you guys have a really good night. Take care of yourselves, and tune in on, I'm sure, your local radio station and listen to John Tesh and Delilah. As if you didn't already, and as if you didn't already know who these people were, that if you were a latchkid kid, got raised with also, from anywhere, I guess, in the late 70s to today. Like, how old is this guy? Anyways, and Delilah, although Delilah does not sound a day old. Like, I want to listen to Delilah. And I hope that you guys are well. Have a really good night. Bye.